It is Saturday, June 23rd. This is a very sleepy guy's daily drive. And hello, everybody. To Guy's Daily Drive. Still wondering when I'm going to get around to editing the most recent shows. I probably have at this point 3 or 4 in the can. Now, it doesn't actually take a whole lot of time to edit the show. It actually takes much longer. Hold on, got a bump. Ooh. It actually takes much longer for the program that I edited in to render it so that it's a nice smooth file and I can get it out there. Movie Edit Pro is the one that I'm currently using, multi-track, and with some basic effects. I don't really need a whole lot. I just need to be able to blend from the video to the intro, and then from the intro back into the video, and do some basic cuts. It's basically all, it's one track. I could do it in iMovie if I didn't hate iMovie's user interface with a passion. I just think it's a terrible program. But some people like it. I'm just not one of them. It does a lot of stuff, but most of that stuff I don't care about. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going to go get Guy at work. He doesn't drive, and I really want him to drive. He will. He'll have to, if depending on what his future plans are. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Last video I talked about how the trip to Boise went, and yeah, it went really, really well. The traveling itself was okay. I'm not a huge fan of flying, but other than significant delays in both takeoffs and arrivals, which cut our transition time in between planes very, very short, it went okay. Well, one thing I did find out through a little bit of research, and I need to go and check and see what the prices are like. One of the problems with going to Boise is the kind of a common problem, especially these days with air travel, in that you can't get there from here. By that, it's not that you can't fly and eventually get to, start from point A and eventually get to point B. The problem is that you first have to go to points C, maybe D, if you're really unlucky, E. But there's not direct flights from one point to another unless they're both major hubs or large enough cities to be able to accommodate stupid speed bumps, to be able to accommodate a lot of flights in and a lot of flights out. Washington, D.C., Reagan International is such a city. So you can get from Washington, D.C. to, without having to go anywhere else. You can go to New York, you can go to San Francisco, all the way to the other side of the country without stopping. You can go to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Charleston, Boston. You have all kinds of options for going from point A to point B. But when you're trying to go from point A, which is a large hub, to point B, which is not a large hub, therein lies the problem. can't do it. You've got to go someplace else first. And in this particular case, both coming and going, it was Minneapolis. And, that's fine. It's a nice enough airport. We, because of the delays in getting from, or getting out of points A, we didn't have as much transition time as we thought we were going to, but it still worked out. We didn't miss any of our connecting flights. We weren't so rushed that we literally had to run through airports, which by design is good. But what I found was that there is one direct flight from this area to Boise, Idaho. Or at least, let me rephrase that. There is a direct flight from Boise, Idaho to somewhere in this area. And it's Baltimore, BWI, Baltimore Washington International Airport, which is about 45 minutes away, maybe a little bit farther depending on traffic, or longer, I should say, depending on traffic. But it's a direct flight. You don't have to stop anywhere else. You get on a plane, and when you get off that plane, you're in Baltimore from Boise. But if there is a corresponding flight from Baltimore to Boise, honestly, I would much rather do that. It's not even, your flying time isn't really that different. To go from here to Minneapolis is about 2.5 hours. To go from Minneapolis to Boise is going to be about 2.5 hours. So that's 5 hours. Going from Baltimore, and I've never done it. I would have to look at the times, but I'm guessing it's going to be 4 to 4.5 hours, which, in the grand scheme of things, isn't really that much of a difference. Where the difference is, and it might be worth it for me to drive that extra distance and to spend maybe a little bit more money on the flight itself, is not having to do an additional takeoff and landing, because I hate flying. Really, if I can just get on a plane, have it go up in the air safely, step one, and then land safely, and I get off that plane and I don't have to fly anymore that day, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to do. And if it costs $100 more, okay, I can deal with that. It's on Southwest Airlines, and I'm going to have to look into that because I just think that's a better way to go. Tracy disagrees with me. She's thinking that she would rather not have to drive all the way to BWI as compared to going through Reagan Airport, just south of DC, very, very close. And you may lose all of that time that you may have gained from not having to take off and land a second time. But then you also don't have to deal with connecting flights and all the rest of it. It just, to me, it's worth it. And even if it costs a little more, it's still worth it. It's still very, very much worth it to me to not have to deal with all of that crap. It was weird. I started recording this, and this really wasn't what I was going to talk about, but there you go. Sometimes a guy's daily drive just goes in directions that you just didn't anticipate. And I'm probably about 10 minutes from picking up Guy, so I got a little more time. Coming up in July, and I've been talking about this week after week after week after week for a while now, is Macstock 2018, and I've told you all about that we're going to have these great speakers, that Tim Robertson and I are going to be doing the MyMac game show quiz, and there's the big event that goes on Saturday night that Barry Falk is going to do. Mike Potter has put this thing together for the last 3 years. This is the 4th year, and it is really one of the things that I look forward to time after time. It's just so much fun, and so great to get together with all of the people that I know online. Some of them I've met while when I was still going to Macworld Expo. But this is like the only time I get to see them, is like conferences like this. And the cool thing about a conference like this is it's small, it's intimate. You don't have thousands and thousands of people trying to go and fit into every single space. You have the main stage at the McHenry Community College that everybody's doing their presentations from, and then there's 1 or 2 breakout rooms that people are doing deeper dives. And it's small, it's intimate. You really get to see close up all of the people that are giving the demonstrations and the talks, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. And obviously, because I'm presenting, I don't have to buy a ticket. But even if I had to, even if I was just going to just be part of the experience, it would still be worth it. Especially at only with the coupon code MyMac, MYMAC, all one word, only $179. I don't get paid to do this conference. I don't make out financially in any way, shape, or form. I lose money because I'm paying for my own hotel room, paying for my own transportation costs, paying for my transportation. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to take the train or drive. I don't know yet, but I'll figure that out. But it's just such a great little show. And it's if you live anywhere near the Chicago area, why you wouldn't go to this is beyond me. Even if you have to fly in from out of town, I mean, it's just outside of Chicago, so there's like thousands of flights. Well, maybe not thousands. There's a lot of flights every day that go through Chicago, pretty much from everywhere, except Boise, apparently. Yeah. So don't miss that. Don't miss this. Don't miss the chance to see all of the people that you've been listening to on podcasts, some of them that you've seen on YouTube, and even me. Yeah, don't miss that. Oh. So that's going to about do it, I think, for this edition of Guy's Daily Drive. You can contact me, guy@mymac.com or guy@mttfgo.com. Still don't really know if it's on iTunes yet or not. I keep looking, and when I try to go to the landing page in iTunes, it's just not there. So now this is like over a month later, and Apple still hasn't pulled their finger out of their ass on this. I don't know what's going on. Don't really worry about it. That's the audio version. If you're seeing this, then you're watching it via YouTube or on Facebook on the Guys Daily Drive landing page. But it's a labor of love, and I'm so far behind on getting these things out. I probably have 5 or 6 of these as I record this that I haven't done yet, and I really just need to buckle down and take care of it. And I'll probably do a couple tonight, at least a couple tonight. I'm pretty much caught up on the audio side, but the video side is still kind of lagging. One of the things that I've recently, I'm just going to shut up. I'll talk about it next time on Guy's Daily Drive.